Hello and welcome to the male-female
Hi.
dynamic, discovering how to ignite more passion, intimacy, and connection in your relationship. Hi, I am Ellie Deutsch, and this is Riana Milne, and she is joining us today to give us some knowledge and some insight in relationships and in life. Hello, Riana Milne.
Hi, how are you, Ellie? Nice to
Hi.
see you.
Hi,
Thanks for asking me
amazing.
to be a part of this.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us and
Sure.
to drop some knowledge upon us. So, before we even get into the depths of information and inspiration, if you could
Mhm.
just give us a little bit of like what you're up to. What are you up to these days? What do you do? And then we'll get into all.
What am I not up to?
Okay, go for it.
There's a lot going on. Primarily, I'm a life and relationship coach, love coach. So I help people find love or fix love. So I work with couples that may be in a toxic relationship, and I have a program called Relationship Rescue. And then I work with singles in a program called Dating to Mating, where they're trying to find healthy, evolved, emotionally amazing love. So that's my two programs. I do it either in my Delray Beach, Florida office, which is a really beautiful place, or online around the world through Skype. So, and I'm
Beautiful.
an author of a couple of books, which you'll hear about later.
Awesome.
And I have a TV show called Lessons in Life and Love, and that's internet television as well.
Awesome.
What
Okay,
about
good. So towards the end, we'll get all the info on that and how we can connect with you and find you.
Great.
For now, though, let's get straight into it. Really, as you've been involved with this work, with helping people with relationships and all that jazz,
Hmm.
and of course, we're going to try to focus a little bit more. Of course, there's convergence there, there's overriding things there, but trying to focus more on the relationship side of things. This is the male-female dynamic. So.
Yes.
So in terms of relationships, in terms of what you do, what is the number one thing that you're finding these days that is really leading to downfalls in relationships? You know what I mean? Like, just really, what is the thing in the last couple of years that you've come in contact with that it's just really seems to be getting in the way for people?
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, I've been private practice 16 years, and the same dynamics keep presenting. So let me talk on both of those, and maybe I can help your singles and those that are in a relationship.
Go
So for
ahead.
the singles first, that are out there looking for love, the number one thing I advise them is have a really positive energy about themselves, a wonderful mindset about dating. Because dating should be fun. It should not be an anxiety-ridden event. I tell my people to go out, date, look to meet new people. That's it. Don't put pressure on yourself or the person on the other side. You have to know clearly what you want in a partner. You have to do your personal work first. It's all your life spheres together. Are you together financially, emotionally? Have you cleaned up anything from your past relationships? So you're not pining for someone else. Um, really having yourself ready to invite and have real love in your life and have that time as well. Can you balance your life to the point where it's open and ready for a real relationship? So for singles, they really just have to be emotionally ready themselves and go through all this life work first.
So,
And then there's certain dating skills they need to know, the questions to ask. And I teach what to look for in the emotionally healthy, evolved relationship and what to stay away from. So they're not repeating a negative pattern of toxic love.
so
So
before
that's
we
all.
Yeah, awesome. Before we get to the couples, and also before we even get to that, I want to get to the questions because you
Okay.
said there's specific questions. But before that, you mentioned staying positive, right?
Yes.
And I'm blessed to come in contact and deal with many people, so sometimes it's not hard to come by somebody who's kind of, I don't know, given up or half given up, or let's just say got cynical about the whole dating thing, about what's out there. So, for someone who's been out there for
Uh-huh.
years, for a decade and a half, what do you say? Like, how can we make ourselves positive? How can we stay in that positive mindset when we've been out there, we've had our ups and excited about something, only to find out that, it was whatever. It just didn't work out, whether the other person was covering up
Well,
something,
relationships
whatever
are
it is.
about lessons. They come and go into our life, and every relationship is to teach you something about yourself and how to love even better. So when you break up with someone or there is a breakup, take the positive from it. and the rest look at the lessons that you've learned and become a better, more evolved human being. It's very important to learn the dating concepts like I teach in my Live book and Love book. But relationships are amazing. There's nothing better than love in your life. Yes, people can find great joy from their work or from their children and, extended world. But to have that interpersonal love relationship just feels so amazing that, you just want to become the best at being a good partner. You want to bring a healthy personal self into that relationship. And then the other thing is you need to know how to communicate when there is an issue. Because there is two people involved here, so you can't always have your way. So issues will come up, and you need to know the communication styles, when issues do come about. So for singles to get into the positive mindset, and I teach so much on this when I coach, but, oh gosh, what concept do I give you? There's so many. Basically, if a negative concept comes up, you cap it with a positive. So it's like, oh, he's a jerk. And it's like, no, you don't think that. You think, well, he has many beautiful qualities. It's about living with gratitude every day. It's so hard for me to answer in a 30-second answer.
Fair enough.
Because I just teach 20 to 30 concepts. I teach about living in the light and the importance of a spiritual mindset, to feel good about yourself, about life, to have gratitude about what you do have, so you attract more to that into your world with that positive energy and mindset. It's a lot to teach. So,
all right, fair enough. I mean, that's okay. We're just getting we're getting the tidbits here. We get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the questions? You mentioned before, speaking to certain questions about what, I guess is what you should be looking for, or maybe what you should run away from. So, what are the questions out there that you think that a girl should be serving to a guy, or a guy should be serving to a girl? If you give us maybe a top, I don't know, 3 or whatever you think that really are the essential things.
Well, you want to know about the person's background and history. What was their relationship with their parents as a child? You also want to know what are their goals in their future. Does your goals for relationships line up? And you can see a few. Got a signal here that the tape went off.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think. Okay, I think we're still on. Let's just keep it. I guess let's keep it going. I don't mind. According to me, the recording's still going. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, talking about the female and male energies, getting back to the topic of the presentation here. It was when the woman is dating, it's very important that she allow the man to pursue her. And I know that's stereotypical and very traditional. However, the male and female energies of dating, it's very important that the male, it's the old caveman brain, the reptilian brain in the male, that he wants to pursue and win his woman. And in today's world, in the world of Tinder and these fast apps, let's hook up and meet, right. It's really a mistake for women to do the chasing or texting him or calling him even after they meet. She's got to sit back, relax, be more the feminine energy, and let the male pursue her. And if he's interested, he definitely will pursue her. There's no doubt in my mind. This is absolutely certain.
So how can she... Sorry, go ahead.
That, lays the foundation of a really strong, dating relationship or not. So with so many women ask, well, what mistake am I making? I don't get it. He seemed really interested. I called afterwards. I said, well, that's a mistake. You don't chase, you don't call, you don't text, you don't initiate. Even if you're on a dating platform, you put yourself out there, see right. who attracts you, and then you can respond to his emails. Is it traditional? Yes. Or you can put one email out there, one request, say, hello, I like this, or that about your profile. I finally match on that. It would be nice to talk or meet you. And then you don't talk forever and ever by phone or by texting. you go and meet the person.
Right.
You know, and
right.
I do also say for online dating, make sure you do a Google search so you know the person you're talking to is that person. And another tip, after 2 to 3 dates, if you're interested in that person, do a background check. Today's world, unfortunately, you got to do a background check, but it's easy to do today.
I hear
You
you.
want to be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you have to
Absolutely.
be
Sure.
safe.
Sure. Sure.
So, I mean, those are some tips for the single person looking for love. And, you know, again, relax, let the man take the lead, tap into your positive energy. Don't talk about exes. Be done with that. Do your personal work. And then you will attract love to your life when you're confident. I mean, women have had to learn to be very strong in the workplace to
Right.
compete, you know, around the world and make a name for herself. And that's fine. Be aggressive there.
In the
But be
workplace. Right.
soft, feminine energy on the dating pool. So I
Right.
hope that helps single listeners there.
Right, I like that. I mean, there was once I was giving a seminar in LA, and I was talking about some of this masculine, feminine stuff, and there was a couple there that I think they were engaged, and they come up to me afterwards, and they say to me that they felt, you know, the stuff I was saying to them resonated to them. They told me that you know, he would pick her up, and she's the sweetest girl in the world. He would pick her up from work, and all of a sudden, before you knew it, they were in some kind of clash, and it just happened over and over. And he was like, and they decided, you know what? I'm not going to pick you up from work. You go do what you got to do. You go to the gym. You go have a drink. You go chill out. Whatever you need to do,
Right.
unwind, you know, and I'll see you in 2 hours later. You know what I
Well,
mean? And it's like,
that
in order to
situation,
transition
man,
from, you know.
yeah, he just needs to let her vent. And if she is by herself before she gets home, she should put on some really calm jazz music,
Right.
not really get on the phone and vent to her friends, just chill. Or put on a motivational, spiritual-based tape that motivates her to go home and be in a better mood. You know, I used to have a commute to work of an hour. I used to listen to motivational type tapes. So by the time I got to work, I felt great. By the time I got home, I felt great.
Right.
So, you know, listening and always feeding your mind with positive concepts really helps. And what I find with my communication with couples, the communication skills are what the major issue is. And nobody teaches that. You know, my first degree from Penn State in broadcasting was how to teach people to communicate well. So, you know, I'll give you an example here. You know, the people have to watch their tone of voice, the pitch, the volume, the pace, and actually select their words carefully. So if there's a woman in a marriage, for example, she says to her husband, you know, this marriage is horrible. We never go out. We never do anything fun. You're always in front of the TV watching football. Now, this I hear all the time. My man never wants to do anything. You know, I ask, when was your last date? When the eyes go up to the ceiling, I know they're in trouble. Like, okay, so they don't remember when their last date was. So she's frustrated and he doesn't want to deal with it.
Right.
That's the wrong way. She asks for a date like that, the man's going to say no. However, if she approaches him with her softer feminine side and says, hey, hon, you know what? I really miss you. You and I haven't been together for a while. It would be really great if we went back to that place where, you know, and again, you talk about a sweet memory from the dating or romance stage,
Right.
you know, where we used to walk by the water and then have a meal and listen to music. You know, can you and I do that sometime? He's going to say yes.
Yep.
Because it's the feminine, soft energy of she misses him and she loves him and she wants some time with him.
Right. And she's,
You know,
she's putting herself in his hands also.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she has to approach him that way. And men really, my boyfriend always says, men are born to please their women. That's what gives him the ultimate happiness, is to see me happy.
Right.
So, you know, a woman's got to make her man feel safe and loved and proud of who he is, feeling amazing about his wife. And then he's like, he'll love her forever. He's like putty in her hands, you know, but everyday life gets in the way. So you have to be careful, you know, choose your words carefully. Learn how to communicate. You know, it's how you say what you say. And nobody has taught these skills, you know,
Right.
as we go through schooling. Nobody has taught
Right.
these.
Right. And so just to point out something in the specifics of what you said is, you know, you used, you know, you never take me out anymore. You're always watching football. It's firstly, the nevers and the alwayses, and the you.
Yes.
Also the
These
you.
accusatory,
Right,
negative,
right.
nagging, belittling, all that negative stuff, which I call living in the dark side, which is part of the spiritual stuff I talk about. That's going to create more darkness in your life. It's going to create more conflict. It's like a tornado. It affects everything.
Right, right. It's attack. It's attack mode.
Attacking. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, the approach is, you know, what's good for you and I? It's you and I against the world. So what's good for me, what's good for you, and what's good for the relationship. There's three
Right.
entities here.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a skill I teach, which is called the tea break or the therapeutic break. And when I ask couples that when they're starting to feel things heat up, either one can call a tea break. That means take a physical break and both of you stop talking. You can say, I'm going to go walk the dog. I'm going to walk around the block. It's not a reason to go to the bar and drink. No, but it's just to get some space, cool down, and start thinking, what is this argument really about? What is my partner really trying to say? And then you want to come back with 2 to 3 solutions to the issue. Once you come back and start talking with your partner, see if there's any places you need to apologize about. You take and own responsibility for anything you might have done, and then you present the ideas. And I can teach them to do this method of communicating.
Right.
Worlds change. It's amazing.
Right.
And now it's proactive. You're both looking for a solution. It's not reactive where you're fighting, calling each other's names, blaming, and then words hurt, and you can't take them back once they're said.
Right.
So you got to stop it before it starts. Take a break. Think about what you're saying. Come back. Own responsibility, and just keep it positive and don't get into the blame game. The other thing I teach them is stop living in the past. Everybody brings up, well, when you did this 5 years ago, 8 years ago, leave it there. Nobody can change it. No one can fix it. Keep in the now. Keep in the present. What can you do today to show your partner love? And what can you do plan today for your future, for things for you to look forward to? So that's therefore the weekly date. Look forward to that date.
There you go.
Look forward to that vacation together. I mean, my man just booked me a Mediterranean cruise for my birthday. Awesome.
Nice.
Look for things to make you feel exciting and to look forward to. So live in the now. Leave the past behind. So important.
Beautiful.
That's a spiritual concept too.
There you go. Beautiful. Riana Milne breaking it down for us, giving us a diagram for success. Going to visit me here on by the Mediterranean soon. And,
right?
And, also, oh man, there's a ton of stuff that you mentioned there that I wanted to talk about. I don't remember what it is anymore.
There's one other thing I'd love your listeners to know.
Go ahead. Give it to us.
The spiritually evolved, emotionally healthy relationship is the one that studies show lasts the longest. 2 evolved, emotionally healthy people.
When you say spiritually, by the way, what do you mean by that?
Okay, it doesn't mean religion, but it can. It doesn't have to be 2 people of the same religion together, but that can, because now they have faith.
But I know you wanted to, I remember we spoke that you wanted to, you were going to mention also this concept of kind of like a mindful relationship. And so I wanted you just for 2 minutes, real quick here, if you could just speak to that. Go ahead.
Yes, it's a conscious, mindful relationship. So you're thinking about what you're doing constantly. There's 4 questions I love all my people to ask. Will this choice, action, or words hurt me, the person, hurt my partner that I love, hurt our children or extended families, or hurt my reputation in the community or on the job? If that's a yes, you don't do the action. So you always think before you do. That's living consciously, living in the now, okay? And thinking, is there any negative consequences? And if so, you don't do the action.
Right.
So being spiritual is a way of living. It's a way of being 24/7. So, it's not negative. Again, it's forgetting the past. It's forgiving your partner easily. It's understanding that we're all human. We all make mistakes. You're communicating with love and a calm, open heart. You're trying to listen to understand where their hurt or pain is coming from. The spiritual, loving, evolved. It's a higher order type of love. So that if you can get spiritually based, mindful, conscious, and you do that together, because one person can't do it alone. A relationship takes 2 people doing it. So that's the most important thing to remember. Let's see what else. I just think.
I'll tell you. Let me give you a focus here before we have to wind it down. One last idea here, and that is really if there's one tip that we can take that's practical. That's this stuff's also practical and actionable. But if there's one little tweak that we can make, something like a detail, a tweak, a switch that audience can when we're done here can flip that within themselves or in what they're doing, something that they can do to make a little tweak or a little switch to go ahead and then something will be different right now. But maybe just off the top of your head, what's your number one just quick tip?
Okay. Start your day with gratitude. Start the day with remembering the blessings that you have and the blessing that your partner is. What are all their wonderful qualities? Say thank you, appreciate each other. Live the concept that you and me against the world. In other words, you put your relationship first, not the children, the partner. Because if you and the partner are strong, the children will be okay.
Right.
So, live that concept, you and me against the world. Be kind, be loving. Ladies, be soft. Men, be strong for your ladies. That dynamic, the female-male energies is there for a reason, and learn to be your best self.
Beautiful.
Be your best self in all your life areas, and then you will attract amazing love into your life.
Beautiful, Riana Milne, and we, just take that and here, like I got a Post-it thing here. Just take a Post-it and stick that, on the inside of your door. I personally actually have something that talks about how to be in the house, actually on the outside of my house door. That's for when I come back home. But hey, when you wake up in the morning, put it up there, have it in your phone, have the alarm set, gratitude, or say to the wife something good right now, WhatsApp or call or whatever it is, email, whatever it is.
That's right.
However you communicate, and that goes a long way because it shows that you're thinking of the person, they're conscious, you're with them, and they're with you even when you're not there, and so that's a huge thing. So here we have Riana Milne with us, dropping some awesome information and hooking us up with some awareness and consciousness. And so, Riana Milne, where can we find you if we want to keep up with you, if we want to get in touch with you?
Yes, please find me.
Learn more.
All over the internet.
So go ahead. Where can we find you, and how can we hear more from you? Go ahead.
Sure. My website is my name, RianaMilne.com. It's RianaMilne.com. My Facebook fan page is Coach Riana Milne. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube is Riana Milne. So it's pretty easy. I do have an app. It's worldwide. It's free. Just download it on any phone. And that's called My Relationship Coach. My 2 books, Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve. That's the #1 bestseller on Amazon. In October, under Couples Therapy, under Women in Spirituality, and Second in Psychology. So that's on Amazon with its sister book, Live Beyond Your Dreams, From Fear and Doubt to Personal Power, Purpose, and Success. So they're meant to go together about being your best individual evolved self, bringing that into the ideal evolved relationship. So they're amazing. And I have like the first 50 pages of each book free for your listeners on my website, RianaMilne.com, so they can go there. If anyone would like to write me with a personal concern, please do. I will answer your emails, and just email me at RianaMilne@gmail.com. It's pretty simple. And anyone in the U.S. that would like to call, I do offer a free coaching strategy session, and that's 201-281-7887. And Skype, Coach Riana Milne, for my worldwide listeners who I coach around the world.
There you go. No shortage. Basically, we have to, if we want to not find you, we have to avoid you. Like, you're all over the place. Right. So, all right. So, Riana Milne, we thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
and
Ellie.
wish you much success. My name is Ellie Deutsch, and this has been the Male-Female Dynamic, discovering how you can ignite your relationship with more passion, intimacy, and connection.
Romancing. Keep dancing and romancing your partner.
There you go. Good. So we'll see you again very soon.